Alright, guys, so it's another session with the Elevator One of Sports. It's still in October, and it is the second international break of the new season. I mean, it's early days into the season, so back-to-back international break in the first 3 months of the new season. So this is the second. We have one before the AFCON, and when it's the international break, it is Super Eagles time. The final two games of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Super Eagles up against Lesotho and up against Genetros, Benin Republic in Uyo. Now let's preview that game. I'm here with the Elevator One of Sports, and I mean, we know your stance when it comes to the Super Eagles all through this World Cup qualifiers. Now let's preview these two games against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Now the points have been deducted from South Africa, so we know what we need to do. The calculators are back on for Nigeria as is always.
I was pressing calculator. I thought that with the deduction, we're now officially going to go to the World Cup.
We press calculator and we still help people deduct their own points, even though they never play match. So we hope make them lose, make we win. That kind of thing. But Lesotho against Benin Republic. So what are your thoughts from those two games?
I think that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have not shown us anything that convinces you to say, "Oh, we go beat them." The only good thing is that the coach, Eric Chell, has also shown that he doesn't lose at home, right? So we can bank on that. But he's also not won on the road. He won against Rwanda.
Yeah, Rwanda. Yeah, the Amahoro Stadium.
But. So can he win in South Africa against Lesotho? Lesotho is not supposed to be a difficult side, but then when you look at the Super Eagles, the attitude of the players, the way they stroll into camp and expect that just because they are Super Eagles, they should just win the game.
And that draw, you against the same Lesotho will be in the heads of the players.
So when you look at the fact that Lesotho have been here and gotten a draw against these players, they would be feeling a bit comfortable. I just don't like the fact that over two legs, Lesotho were willing to fall like a pack of cards against South Africa, and somehow South Africa undid themselves by playing the player Mokoena that got them point deduction. But like I said before at the beginning of this conversation from 2023, that there was always going to be the politics that works in favor of the South African position as the CAF president is South African, and people didn't get what I was saying. And sometimes when you say things, I think that if you have a contrary position, lay it down. What I don't, go and apologize. I can't apologize to you. You're asking me to apologize and insulting me. And I want to clear one thing as well in this discourse. These people that keep saying that I hate Igbo people, I don't know where you're coming from, because I married an Igbo woman. My 3 children have Igbo names. So I really don't know where they are coming from with that. But football analysis have got nothing to do with hate. It's got something to do with the player. If the player doesn't fit the bill. And those of you who like to take the performance of a player in his club to judge their national team performance, that's not what football analysis is about. You are a fan of a player, everything about them is good. That's why Arsenal can go 20 years without winning a trophy. People are still their fans. That does not now mean that, like, Arsenal beat Madrid home and away last season, and some people, delusional people, said that Madrid is better. Arsenal is better than Madrid. Is a bigger club. That historically Madrid have not beaten Arsenal. But you've seen all the trophy, all the success they've achieved. I'm not deviating, but I'm just using it to correct some things. An analyst is not going to speak like a fan. A fan is going to be fanatical about the player that they like, even if the player is the worst player in the world. Having said that, you have to look at the Super Eagles. If you judge the World Cup qualifiers on the merit, the Super Eagles is supposed to be a big team. Super Eagles were the second team in AFCON just last year. And then they were put in a group that had Benin Republic, Rwanda, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. On paper, the major contender in that group is South Africa, followed by Benin Republic. There are teams that the Super Eagles were meant to collect plus or minus 18 points from. Zimbabwe guaranteed 6 points. Rwanda guaranteed 6 points. Lesotho guaranteed 6 points. But somehow the Super Eagles of Nigeria drew both leg against Zimbabwe, beats Rwanda, and then have drawn against Lesotho. And then at the same time lost to Benin Republic, and then drew both legs against South Africa. If you look at that from a position of an analyst, there is nothing in the Super Eagles that inspires confidence to make you come on the microphone and say, "Oh, they'll win." A fan of the Super Eagles will say that, but that is you being a fan. I am being an analyst. I'm going to look at the way they've played, their approach to the games. They are the only team in the world who's used 3 coaches, club or country, in the last 1 or 2 years. Use 3 coaches to prosecute. What's the total number of games that we played between AFCON and now? Pesero
Should be over 10
as a
games,
matter of fact, we've used 4 coaches. Pesero, Finidi George, Iguaivon, and then Eric Chell. 4 coaches. So you can't sit where you are and boast, beat your chest for the Super Eagles for so many reasons. Players are not serious when it comes to Nigeria. Nobody's going to convince me. Even if they let them miraculously qualify for the World Cup. That's my position. They should keep proving me wrong. I'm not going to change it because now we have point deduction. But let me analyze that politics that I keep talking about. The rule says if you use a player that is not supposed to be fielded, you would be sanctioned. 3 points and 3 goals will be deducted and transferred to the team you played against, right? The option is for the team you play against to protect. And then there's a caveat that FIFA can act on its own. Now, if FIFA waited for 6 months, the question is, what exactly is FIFA waiting for? To add to this conversation, let's bring in the voice of Gunnar Trop for a minute and listen to him, and then I'll continue.
Good evening. Yes, we had now the deduction of the 3 points for South Africa. It's coming late, 6 months after. I don't understand why the FIFA is waiting so long time, but now it's done, and 3 teams still have a chance. 4 with South Africa, because Rwanda, if they win the 2 games, they can still do it. Nigeria, if they win the 2 games, the same. And South Africa has to fight, because actually we are first with 1 goal better than South Africa. So it will be a very interesting month of October. And we will try, of course, with the small country Benin, to do the miracle we can do to go to the World Cup, but will still be very difficult. Since 2 years and a half, we didn't play any game in Benin, all the games away, because the stadium was not homologated. So we had to play the home games in Ivory Coast. And we had to, like South Africa, to go there, and they could play 7 times from 10 matches in South Africa. They had big advantages, so really no equity. But let's hope that the team who is the best will qualify. Even Nigeria has a chance.
So you heard Gunnar Trop. I'm not sure I put those words in his mouth. I'm not sure I told him to say those things. But FIFA waited 6 months. Now, if you go back to the games before this, leading to the game, if the international break, let's say South Africa was sanctioned, immediately this happened, and that 3 points have been deducted, every other opposition playing against them before now would have approached the game differently, especially Nigeria. Knowing that 3 points and 3 goals have been deducted for South Africa, we would have approached the game that we played, I think is in Bloemfontein or where we played that game, would have approached it differently, knowing fully whether this is one of our competition, and if we're able to win this game, we put them behind. We will now go to the head-to-head battle with Benin Republic and know that we have to beat them when we play them in the final game. And it sets us straight sailing on top of the group to the World Cup. But you waited 6 months, South Africa have recovered and gained enough points, put themselves in a position where the 3 point deduction is no longer a monumental damage. It's no longer an elimination damage. And then you come and deduct 3 points and 3 goals, and then you go from outright first to second, and Benin Republic is in first position, but on the same point, 14 points with them, and then Nigeria is in third. And some people think, oh, I should apologize. No, I'm not apologizing for anything. There is no need to apologize. And then those people who are citing, refreshing Gary Lineker accused Osimhen wrongly. I never did that. I analyzed this transfer. And for people, I think that he who must come to equity must also come with a clean heart. For people who are asking for that apology, to what end is the apology first and foremost? The same you who are self-righteous, holier than thou people who are unsafe, and those who threaten will blackball you. I don't understand. Am I working in your father's company? Who are you blackballing? Having said that, when he wrongly insulted Nigerians and Finidi George, how many of you forced him to apologize? Has he apologized till today? So who hold the Who owe him any apology? I don't understand where that happens. Where because he's a star player, I will be here analyzing when he plays well. I will be here analyzing when he plays rubbish, or when he grab an opposition in the neck, which is not a big deal because it happens in football. But if the question comes up, I will analyze it. And I cannot, for the life of me, think that every time I analyze a player that you, the fans, you love, and the analysis does not favor you, I should now start coming to apologize. The same way Manchester United fans in 2013 got a court injunction and said I shouldn't talk about Man United. I should apologize to the Man United fans that because I said they will not win the Premier League for 10 years plus. As 10 years plus not passed, have they won the Premier League? So I'm not going to apologize for that. But you look at these games, the way they are coming forth, and I'll tell you that on a normal day, on any given Sunday, Friday, Saturday, weekend, or midweek, this is guaranteed 6 points for the Super Eagles that I used to know. But for this very generation of Super Eagles, this is most likely 4 points. So the question to you, Emmanuel, or the Nigerian fans out there, all things being equal, would 4 points keep us in second to qualify for the playoff? Would 4 points put us in first to qualify automatically for the World Cup? That's what I see. And people might look at it, Lesotho is a very weak team. Yes, but they came to Nigeria and draw with us. They came here, our own backyard, to draw with us. How many times have we gone to South Africa to win in qualifiers? I'm not talking of the 2013 AFCON. In qualifiers, how many games have we won ever in South Africa? In our hottest times, where we beat South Africa here 4-0. We went there, we played goalless draw. We had Yakini and the rest. So there is no antecedent that says that we normally go away to win. And then this team, how many away game have they gone to win convincingly that convinces you to put your bet on them? And then now that Ganotro is the coach of Benin Republic, he's beaten us once, and somehow he's now in a position where if he wins his first game, the last game that he will play against us is a must-win for him.
Yeah,
he will come here and do everything to win. While South Africa win their first game over the weekend, their last game is also a must-win. So they'll be looking at all of this and saying to themselves, you know what? Whatever gives, first they win this weekend. They must win that weekend. And let's say all three teams win. Nigeria win, South Africa win, Benin Republic win. It now comes to the final weekend. Can Nigeria beat Benin Republic? And what does Nigeria beating Benin Republic do for our chances? Because if we beat Benin Republic, how many points we are on now? We are on 11 points.
Yeah, I think 11.
Benin Republic is on 14 points.
Yeah.
Let's hypothetically say we play the graph. Let's press the calculator. We beat Lesotho away. We'll travel down here, and then we beat
Benin
Republic as high as 17. That's where we can get to. Benin Republic wins their first game. They're already on 17. The goal difference and everything will come to play at the end of the day there, but they're already on 17. South Africa wins their 2 games. They go to 20. Where does it put us? Does 17 points, that is if we win our two games, yeah. Does 17 points qualify us for second? Some teams in second position already 18.
Yeah, 18, yeah.
Some are in 15, some are in 12, like that. What if those teams also win their 2 games? Where does it put us to? But for me, what the Super Eagles have done over time is every break, the maximum they've gone is 4 points. Why the minimum is 1 point, Finidi George. Other times it's 2 points, Jose Pesero. So let's use the law of average. Let's put them on 4 points. Would 4 points plus 11, 15 points, would it take us anywhere? I don't know. But then let's not be magnanimous, let's be generous. Would 17 points in all, would other people also, get in? Because Benin Republic need just 1 win to get to 17. Need 4 points to get to 18.
Yeah.
South Africa need 4 points to get to 18. Nigeria need 6 points to get to 17. So all of this, I want to do a bit of reverse analogy. If Nigeria was a team in 14 on top of the group, reverse is the case. South Africa is in the Nigerian position, Benin Republic is in Nigeria position. Would anybody who is from Nigeria be able to boldly say, and seeing the result as it has happened since the tournament, since the qualifier started in 2023, would anybody be bold enough to say, oh, Nigeria will not qualify for the World Cup if we were the ones in 14 and, leading up to these last 2 games? I think it's going to be hard. So, from an analytical perspective, with Nigeria's pedigree in this qualifier means the highest they've gotten out of every 2 games is 4 points. I'm going to get a 4 points again and see what that comes up. And even if we win our 2 games, it will take calamitous collapse from two teams, not one team.
Benin
Two
and
teams,
South Africa.
Benin and South Africa, for us to match on. So all of this said to me, my smart money is on Nigeria ending as high, the maximum height, second. But I think that we'll end up in third by the upper week when we come here to discuss this thing. Third is the most likely position we will end up in.
I mean, there should be no missing words when it comes to, I mean, these next two games. If these guys go to South Africa to take on Lesotho and they don't get the 3 points, I mean, it's I'm struggling to use the word.
We'll watch out for TV.
It could be embarrassing because you need to first of all get that 3 points building up to that final game in Uyo, because the reception is going to be. I remember the Ghana game where we failed to qualify for the World Cup.
I was in the middle
Abuja,
of it, so you should ask me to tell you the story.
I foresee such scenario if it happens again this time
broken.
in Uyo and we fail to get the result. So at the back of the players' minds, they should be going to South Africa to get 3 points against Lesotho. Anything other than that, they shouldn't bother coming to Uyo to play that second game. But now let's, just to remind you as well, those games will be played simultaneously, so no need to play and wait for the
other
so
result.
we play on Friday and Tuesday, same as South Africa, same time, 5 p.m. kickoff Friday and Tuesday. So while you're watching, you're keeping tabs with the other game as well, so you don't have any feeling of you want to wait and see what the other result will be.